rising sun. Some people think to harvest happiness by leaving troubles, easing every stress. The trouble is that troubles never end. Get rid of one and you face its strength. And you face its strength. It's in your heart. The songs of joy resound. You'll hear the echoes in the world around. With none here sounds lonely if you're sad, free if you're free, cheerful if you're glad. Cheerful if you're glad. Friends, come with me. We'll chant the apples one, shouts not of anger. Joy will be our gun. Before the light, the veils of sorrow rent. In inner freedom, all illusions end. All illusions end.
The voice of God calls us to awaken him. How will he find us when he comes?
Awake and ready.
And when he asks us to dedicate our lives ever more perfectly to him, how will he find us?
Awake and ready.
Let's pray together. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
Heavenly Father,
Heavenly Father,
friend, beloved God,
friend, beloved God,
great masters,
great masters,
Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ,
Babaji Krishna,
Babaji Krishna,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Swami Shri Yukteswar,
Swami Shri Yukteswar,
Paramahansa Yogananda,
Paramahansa Yogananda,
saints of all religions,
saints of all religions,
we humbly bow to you all.
we humbly bow to you all.
Awaken within us
Awaken within us
deeper sincerity,
deeper sincerity,
devotion,
devotion,
unconditional love.
unconditional love.
Make us your pure channels in this world,
Make us your pure channels in this world,
that we may share your blessings with all.
that we may share your blessings with all.
Om.
Om.
Peace.
Peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Please have a seat.
Brother, I've a faint suspicion you and I've been led astray. But to drive the devil from us, we've invited him to stay. What we need is light, so we can drive out the darkness with a stick. With a stick, no, we can drive out the devil with a stick. Some proclaim more men are sinners, can't escape the devil's might. How their interest must intrigue him, they won't let him out of sight. What we need is light, where we can drive out the darkness. Talking sin, no, we can drive out the devil, talking sin. Some of us were taught the slogan, social evils must be slain. But can anger drive out sorrow, and can passion conquer pain? What we need is light, or we can drive out the darkness while we hate. No, we can drive out the devil while we hate. Brother, have you ever wondered why the darkness lingers on? If we want to see the sunrise, let us turn and face the dawn. What we need is light, or we'd only be we'll only beat the devil when we love.
Continue to meditate as we listen to these words from affirmations for self-healing on this week's quality, concentration. Concentration is the secret of success in every undertaking. Without concentration, thoughts, energy, inspiration, purpose, all one's inner forces become scattered. Concentration is the calm focus of one's full attention on the purpose at hand. Concentration means more than mental effort. It means channeling your heart's feeling, your faith, and your deep aspirations into whatever you are doing. In that way, even the little things in life can become rich with meaning. Concentration should not involve mental strain. When you really want something, it is difficult not to think about it. Concentrate with interest on whatever you do, and you will find yourself absorbed in it. Let's affirm together, first in a strong voice, then a regular speaking voice, then a whisper mentally. Whatever I do in life,
Whatever I do in life,
I give it my full attention.
I give it my full attention.
Like a laser beam,
Like a laser beam,
I burn from before me.
I burn from before me.
All problems, all obstructions.
All problems, all obstructions.
Whatever I do in life,
Whatever I do in life,
I give it my full attention.
I give it my full attention.
Like a laser beam,
Like a laser beam,
I burn from before me.
I burn from before me.
All problems, all obstructions.
All problems, all
Now
obstructions.
in a whisper, whatever I do in life, I give it my full attention. Like a laser beam, I burn from before me. All problems, all obstructions. Now mentally keeping the concentration focused at the point between the eyebrows, but with ever deeper concentration. Whatever I do in life, I give it my full attention. Like a laser beam, I burn from before me all problems, all obstructions. Again, mentally, whatever I do in life, I give it my full attention. Like a laser beam, I burn from before me all problems, all obstructions. And pray silently with me. Help me to see thee, Lord, as the scriptures describe thee, the most relishable. Help me to concentrate on thee, my gaze, my love, my aspirations, my entire being. Oh, peace. Good morning, friends. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Narayan. This is Dharmadevi. Our joy to share Sunday service with you. And we share each week from Rays of the One Light. These are weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita. And this week is week 31. How democratic is truth? Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. We live in an age when people assume that knowledge should be available equally to all. In matters susceptible of judgment by normal common sense, however, everyone knows there are exceptions. Access to a control room for intercontinental missiles is limited by universal consent to a very few. Access to the controls of a passenger airline is limited to those with the necessary knowledge for operating them, and also to those with the proper authorization. If people don't see the disadvantages of making more subtle knowledge universally available, it is only because they are ignorant of the risks involved. In the case of subtle knowledge, the main disadvantage of making it universally available is the harm it might do to one who isn't ready for it, and who might even mock it. True, by mocking truth, he might undermine the faith of a few truth seekers. But then such tests can also be beneficial as a means of strengthening faith. Again, true, the clever doubter's misrepresentation of those truths may dissuade a few seekers from following the spiritual path. But if a seeker really is sincere, he will recognize the truth eventually because it resonates with his own being. No, the greatest problem accrues to the shallow doubter himself. To give him an opportunity to affirm his ignorance might only estrange him even more from the truth, delaying the time he will turn, as all people must, eventually to the light. Thus, the scriptures advise not secrecy, but discretion in sharing the truth. Jesus Christ in the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 7, "Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and rend you." And Sri Krishna says in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, "Never speak of these truths to one who is without self-control or devotion, who renders no service, who does not care to hear, or who speaks ill of me." Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om, Om, Om.
I'd like to read to you from Whispers from Eternity. These are Yogananda's prayer demands. And this is whisper number 104. "Let all rest in the shade of my peace. The breeze of thy love wafts through me, O Father. Leaves on my tree of life tremble gently in response to thy coming. My soul blossoms have begun to awaken. The rustling murmur of my thought leaves, whispering in the ether, calls to all matter-weary beings to come rest in the shade of my peace, received from thee." So this is an interesting topic. When you hear the title of it, it instantly brings to my mind, at least, the political scene in our world. But I just thought, let's just put that aside for now. And I'd like to talk to you about this concept of us throwing our pearls before swine, which I imagine all of us have done at one point in our lives or another. I know I have. It brings to my mind a time before my beloved spiritual relationship with my husband, Narayan, to a time long past of another relationship when I was first coming onto the spiritual path. And that relationship I got into when I was 16 years old. So my life was a lot different. And we got married when I was 18, which is also quite young. And looking back, I go, oh my God, how did I possibly think I had anything in my life figured out at 18 enough to go, oh sure, this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life, no problem. He was also quite young, not as young as myself, but you know, a good man, and we had a spiritual connection, but it was like a baby, you know, and my baby of spirituality wanted to grow very quickly. Once it found the spiritual path, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing, incredible, and you know, like running with the 7 horses, and Krishna was whipping my chariot along, and his baby of spirituality was not moving so quickly. And I remember sharing these teachings with him, and he was like, "Are you getting into witchcraft?" And I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be a little difficult." And you know, we were both from the South, but he was raised with a little bit more fundamental kind of Christian upbringing. And so these were a little foreign concepts for him. And we could see our lives just really going in very different directions. And he said to me at one point, "What's the problem? You're the one that's changing, not me. I'm still the same." And I was like, exactly. But, you know, he couldn't see that that was a problem, that just staying the same. Well, I'm the person that you married, and you're someone different. So, but, you know, it's interesting, this reading of, we think, throwing pearls before swine. It's like, oh my God, how can we judge people and say, oh, someone else is swine now, I'm not gonna throw something beautiful before them. But really, Swami Kriyananda said it really well. We can't teach anyone anything. And so even in that relationship, he wanted, you know, once I said, that's the problem. We have to change. We have to grow as beings. We have to progress. And so he really made an effort. He said, "Okay, I'm going to meditate with you every day." It's like, okay, that's great. And, you know, but it was forced. It didn't come naturally. It wasn't what he wanted to be doing. It was, okay, I sat for 15 minutes. Why do you keep sitting here? What are you doing? What are you hoping to get out of this? What could possibly come from sitting longer than 15 minutes in meditation? And so we have to be honest with where we're at, and at the same time we have to give space for everyone to grow in their own unique way. We can't, like Swami said, we can't teach anyone anything. So how is it that we change the world around us? We change ourselves. And that's why probably a lot of you have heard of this campaign that Ananda is putting out there, Be the Change. And it's based off of Mahatma Gandhi's quote, we should be the change that we want to see in the world. Because what changes our outer world is our inner vibration. And so I wanted to ask you to sit up straight and close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to tune into your energy, your magnetism. And what I mean by that is we're all vibrating at a particular level. Try to tune into the chakras in your spine, and starting at the base of the spine, as Narayan led us through oming at the chakras during purification. And try to feel sensitively for where your energy is focused in your body. And then see if you can coax that energy upward. See if you can't raise it, if it's not already, to the heart center. Feel an openness, an awakened energy at the heart. And lift it higher to the throat, feeling for a sense of expansion, calmness. And lifting it further to the point between the eyebrows, feeling that awakened divine love, the divine wisdom, the infinite joy of spirit. And that you can open your eyes when you're ready. This is why Paramahansa Yogananda said if we can keep our attention focused at the spiritual eye at all times, we'll make very rapid spiritual progress. And not only will we make rapid spiritual progress, but we'll share that inspiration with everyone around us, because really the only teaching that happens, we can't teach with our words, we teach with our actions. I was joking with Aaron because I'm learning Spanish on this wonderful app called Duolingo, and he was allowing me to practice a little, which was just funny, because apparently I'm now 16% fluent in Spanish, which is a total joke. But there's like a secret little bonus skill you can learn for idioms and proverbs. So I was looking at these different proverbs, and one was, as we've all probably heard, do as I say, not as I do. It's like, that's the worst proverb you could possibly imagine, because no one does that. Everyone does as we do, not as we say. The words that come out of our mouths really are almost meaningless unless they're words of kindness that we can lift someone's spirits in a moment of need. But really, it's our vibration. And beautiful that the Buddha, his first sermon was after he reached enlightenment, he got up from underneath the Bodhi tree, and he came upon a group of people who were traveling, and he simply raised his hand in blessing and didn't say a word. And those travelers became his first disciples because they felt the power and love emanating from him, and they just said, I want that, I need that, so share with me what you have. Many of the most beautiful saints and masters of our time, well, of all time, have been those that don't say a word. I used to say to Narayan, because speaking is not my strong suit, I'd say, why can't I just sit like Lahiri and just vibrate blessings out to people and not speak? He said, well, when you're a master, you can do that. So that might be one of my hidden goals on the spiritual path. Oh, and I wanted to share also, Swami Kriyananda, he asked many questions of Paramahansa Yogananda to our great benefit. He would kind of pick his brain about things, and he was talking about desires, and Yogananda would say, we have to get through all our desires in order to reach liberation. And Swami said, even the desire for an ice cream cone? And he said, yes, even that. And then later, Swami I imagine he was going through different things in his mind, like, okay, well, maybe I can give up the ice cream cone, but he said, Master, I have this desire for good tasting food, and Yogananda just cut to the core of it, because he could see maybe he was getting a little wrapped up in this topic of desires and karma, and he said, when ecstasy comes, everything goes. And so really, we have to go for bliss. Don't go for, oh, well, maybe I'll get a little bit more happiness. Maybe I'll get a little bit less angry, or a little bit less jealous, or whatever those things are that we're working on. Those are good to work on. It's good to know what we're battling and to put out all of our self-effort, but let that self-effort be more so, I want bliss, I want joy, I want love, I want divine love. And then just as we did by raising our consciousness in the spine, you can think of it like a river. And once we get a taste of that ecstasy, there's nothing else that will do it for us. And we feel then more and more subtly how those lower tendencies within us make us lose those. So it's, do I really want to feel frustrated and confused? And no, I remember what it felt like when I felt that divine love or that divine bliss, even if it was just for a moment. And it's, okay, let me focus on that. We have to focus on the positive. And even coming full circle into the state of our world, it's no different than when Yogananda was here, and there was all kinds of turmoil when he was here. He didn't focus on it. He focused on the light, and that's why I asked Aaron to sing Swami's song. We can't drive out the darkness with a stick. We can't drive out the darkness talking sin. We can't get it by focusing on the darkness. We have to focus on the light. And how can we do that? We have to feel it. We have to feel bliss. And then we don't have to even consciously say, oh, let me be a channel for that, because we are. What do you think we're doing here? We're all channels, and we're either channeling light or we're channeling darkness. So choosing to go for bliss, go for God, makes us instantly a radiant expression of that.